There's lots of hands, so can we just take 2 questions at a time? I think the lady there had a question as well, and then you can respond to both.
Sure.
Please. There, Mr. Isaac.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I'm Poonam Kaur, and this is a question for all of you, and asking just as a citizen. For a democracy to survive and thrive, we certainly need a strong opposition. Whereas we see in many states that they're enjoying the monopoly. And in this position, how do we really say that the center is unfair or the state is unfair? Nobody is really looking at democracy on the whole. Secondly, sir, this question was especially for you. Bugna sir, for you. We have heard a lot of arguments about the center being unfair to South, and there have been arguments where, there's a lot of difference the way they behave. And having the strength that you have, would you, looking at the situation in Andhra Pradesh, not really ask for special category status? Are we losing it out because of our political selfishness? KTR sir, first I would like to thank you, because on the 75 years of independence, when I went to Pochampally and I tweeted, you've actually released the pension for the weavers, and I really want to thank you for that. And I want to ask you, because you've been tweeting a lot about taxes, is it not true that state is also enjoying the taxes at the same time has the opportunity to abuse the center? Isn't it hypocrite? To you, sir, Dr. Tharoor. Sorry, last one. Dr. Tharoor, would you take the opportunity for a South Jodo Yatra so that the democracy survives? Thank you.
So, we'll start with you and ask all of you to give a
Well, I'll take Mr. Isaac's question first. The Fiscal Responsibility Budgetary Management Act that was enacted in 2003 has clearly, outlasted its, intent, is what I would like to believe. Because for a growing economy, which is growing at 7, 8, 9%, and for a state like Telangana, which has grown at a CAGR of 15% over the last 8 years, you cannot look at debt as a burden. In fact, if you ask me, for a growing state, debt is a future investment if you're investing in capital expenditure. If you're investing in productive sector, if you're investing in a sector which is going to actually pay you back, then it's actually an investment, it's actually not a debt, first thing. The second thing is, in fact, Mr. Isaac would agree, when in 2003 the act was enacted by the UPA, it was envisioned that even the center would actually comply. But in the last 18 years, they've flouted it, they've amended it at least 18 times. Now, you can't have 2 sets of rules, for both governments. The central government, while it talks about, debt GDP, debt GSDP, they keep pointing to us that, you're overshooting. They're at 60%, a state like Telangana is at 25%, but we still get told that, you're not behaving. And the last thing I'll tell you, to penalize us, to choke us, to strangulate us, and to tell us that, listen, you're not in compliance, the SPVs that have been borrowing, the corporations that have been borrowing, to look at their debt burden and to actually put it on us, on the state, as, covered under our FRBM, and to put it retrospectively, is something that I will certainly challenge. I will definitely, work with Mr. Isaac. I would definitely go to the highest court in the country, because it affects my state, it chokes my state, it chokes a growing state, and it's a travesty. So that's to Mr. Isaac's point. Now, Poonam, I thank you for supporting handlooms. You said we are hypocritical. I don't think we are at all, because, we are a proud contributor to this nation. I'm proud that Telangana is a contributor. We are only 2.5% of India in terms of population, but we contribute to 5% of GDP. So अगर आज कोई ब्रिज बन रहा है गुजरात में, महाराष्ट्र में, तमिलनाडु में या कहीं और, मुझे कोई उससे दिक्कत नहीं है, बट मुझे इसी बात से फर्क पड़ता है, this cultural political hegemony कि हम देने वाले हैं, आप लेने वाले हैं, उस बात से मुझे फर्क पड़ता है, क्योंकि हम कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, हम किसी के सबसर्वेंट नहीं है, किसी के सबऑर्डिनेट नहीं है. तो इसीलिए मैं बस नहीं इतना ही कहता हूं, अगर आप तेलंगाना आते हो दिल्ली से, आके थैंक्स बोल के जाओ, आके यहाँ बिरयानी खाओ, ईरानी चाय पियो, बहुत अच्छी चाय है हमारी, तो बस you please behave in a respectable fashion. You cannot come here and tell us and dictate terms to it and basically tell us that we are not performing when we actually have done rather well. We have the largest per capita income in the country. When 2014 it was 1,24,000 rupees. Today it's 2,78,000 rupees. Our GSDP has risen by 130%. We have outperformed the union government on all benchmarks. So we have a right to decide our own priorities. In fact, I heard Tyaga said, speak on TV where he has said, famously asked, in fact, he said, "Are you doing better than us that you actually dictate terms to us?" So the point is, we're not being hypocritical. All we are saying is we're happy to contribute to the nation. We're more patriotic than you, but at the same time, do not, kind of impose, do not kind of, try and come here and tell us what to do and what not to do. Let us decide our priorities. Let us chart our own course. That's all I'm saying.
Can I just add one point? Do you think a fiscal council where fiscal rules are determined in collaboration with the center and state can help resolve this challenge?
Maybe, but I just want to make a point here about this FRBM.